Hello, darling parents. Welcome to yet another Facebook Live from Wow Parenting. This is Naren, and let me begin by saying that thank you so much for joining us this evening. Well, metaphorically, this is exactly what children go through often. When I say this, what do I mean? Children do their homework, children do their studies, and when they go to appear for their exams, so often they find that what has come over there is they don't know how to handle it. The question which is asked, they don't know the answers, and they must be feeling so lost at that point of time. And more than that, sometimes they will have a little fear. Oh my God, when I go back home and when I tell my parents that I didn't know this question, how are they going to handle it? Will they understand, or will they say, you wouldn't have studied properly, you didn't pay attention, how many times I told you that you should be more focused? And the child gets a little paranoid, not so much about the marks, but more about what a parent's going to say. I understand it because I kind of felt the same when I was in Bangalore wanting to start the Facebook Live. I was thinking, oh my God, my parents who have already come. Oh my God, what will they assume that why Naren has not come? Oh my God, what if they were waiting intensely for this session and the insights are something which is so important to them? And I felt a little guilty. Shit. If only I knew how to solve this and actually reach out to my parents. I'm so glad that we are able to reach out today. I'm so glad we are able to connect today. And the topic is a very interesting topic. The topic is, how do we help kids to complete their homework? How is it that we help kids to face their homework? Why is it that kids hate their homework? How to get them interested in doing their homework? And most importantly, is there a way by which we can make homework fun? Now, let me share with you a couple of beautiful incidents. One of them I think I have mentioned with you earlier, and the second, which I believe I have never shared with you. There is a principal whom I truly, deeply admire. Her name is Miss Jessica Simoes, and she is the principal of a lovely school called Wisdom World High at Wakad in Pune. A few days back, I had the opportunity to meet her, and we were discussing about students and studies and homework and parents. And I asked her, how do you convince children to do their homework well? And how do you convince parents to deal with this thing called homework properly with children? What Jessica Simoes said that day is deeply entrenched in my mind. Very deeply it has got and made grooves in my mind. And I think if teachers can think that way, the whole world of education will be very different. What did Miss Jessica Simoes tell me? She said, Naren, parents are not equipped to be teachers. Parents are not the right people to teach a subject to the teachers. Parents don't know child psychology. The subject that is being taught, parents may not have been good in that subject. Parents have so many things to deal with in a day-to-day life, and early in the morning or late in the evenings, if they have to sit to take their children's studies, they're actually asking a little too much from the parents. The responsibility to teach the child lies with the children at school, teachers at school, and it is not lying at the shoulders of parents. A good teacher will teach the children in such a way where the children learn the subject in school itself, and they don't have to go and do copious amount of homework when they go back home. And I asked her, how much should be the right quantity of homework for a child? She said maximum 1 hour. Preferably, the child should go home and just go through the books, read the pages, flip through the topics and find, this I have understood. Oh, this also I have understood. Here I have a little doubt, let me write it so that when I go to my school tomorrow, I'm going to ask my teacher. So if parents can do this job with their children, which means if parents can sit with their children and just say, hey, tell me what did they teach at school today? Tell me what you understood. Where are you confused? Where do you need a little more detail? If they can make the children do homework in the matter of a conversation, the children do not feel the pressure of being judged by the parents, as a result of which they will find studies a little more immersive, a little more inclusive, a little more interesting. Most importantly, they will find their parents as partners in studies. These parents tell their children, I have not understood this subject even in my school days. Or they will tell their children, oh my God, this looks a little difficult, but I think you have understood it properly. Can you please teach this to me? Can you just explain this to me? The best way to learn anything is by becoming a teacher in that subject. And when the parents can involve their children in a way where the children believe they have to become a teacher to their own parents, the way they listen at school will be of a different level altogether, because they are not just listening for themselves. They are not just listening for their personal clarity. They are thinking, when I go back home, my mother or my father or my grandparents will ask me, this we have not understood. Can you please explain it to us? So if the child says, this I have also not understood, then parent's job is very simple. Let me see if I can explain it a little, but why don't you go to school and ask your teacher so that you can come back next day and then teach it to me. Children will now have curiosity to learn. They won't learn to score marks. They will learn to pass on the wisdom. They will learn to teach their parents. They will feel responsible for their being taught in school. And the entire environment at home will be super class and very nice. By the way, friends, needless to say, but anyway, it's my duty to say that in case you are liking what we are discussing, please click the like button. In case you think this is something which must be shared in various groups, please go ahead and share it so that these free Facebook Lives can reach thousands and thousands of parents. You know, in so many families, the atmosphere is very negative just for this one reason. Parents, children, and homework, it's not gelling well. The environment in the house is negative because the child is not studying as per the expectation of the parents. And important things in life like values, like attitudes, like how to handle a complicated situation, how to communicate, you know, these beautiful life skills, how to plan, how to manage your money, how to save. If there is a complication, how to solve. All these things which parents can do brilliantly well, and they should do, because the schools can't give all these things. All these things which is exclusively what parents can teach the children, the parents don't even get time because they're busy in taking the homework of the children. So in case we can share these tips with thousands of people out there, thanks to and help from you, you never know how many children's life you can change and how many thousands of people are going to bless you because you shared this lovely video with them. Let me share to a story that I promised you right in the beginning. Sometimes we make studies look like a big pressure. We make studies look like a punishment. For example, I've heard parents tell their children, if you are not going to listen to me, you have to study for 1 more hour. If you don't behave properly, go and sit with your books. Because you lied, 2 hours of extra studies for you. Baba, when you say that, studies look like punishment. And how can I enjoy what is a punishment? Pele, probably the world's best footballer. Pele. I love this book, Pele, Autobiography of Pele. Brilliant book it is. Probably the best footballer the world has ever produced. Pele was so good, at a young age, he was approached by a professional football club to play football. He's absolutely okay. Pele went to play. The father negotiated with the club about the money and they said, after the match, please give the money to my child. Pele played the match, did really well, first professional match, scored a goal. At the end of it, was so happy, so excited. I played well today. And at the end of the match, the manager came to him with a cover, and inside the cover there was money. And he told Pele, here, take this money. Pele was shocked, taken aback. What? Money? For what? He said, no, you played football and you played it so well. I have to pay you money. I owe you money. I spoke to your parents and we have decided this amount of money. Pele took the money, put it inside his pocket, and then he looked at the coach and said, I would have played football for free. I mean, why the hell should anybody in the world pay me money to play? I will be grateful to you if you allow me to play. And then he said something which every parent should know. Pele looked towards the horizon and said, if only my mother had told me, go, play with your books. I would have seen studies as a game, as a play, as fun. I was told, go and study. When it comes to games, she would smile as if it's a reward and say, go, play. Studies, she would become serious and say, sit to study. As parents, if I make studies look very serious, if I make homework look very serious, obviously the child is not going to enjoy it. Pele was right. He was bang on target. Perfect. When he told, if only my mother had told me, go and play with your books, I would have studied much better. I would have been a good student too. Homework should be fun. Homework should be interactive. Homework should be driven by curiosity and not because it's a must-do task. Then your child will completely enjoy the process of doing homework. If we make it serious and like a punishment, then it's always going to be complicated for the child to study. There's another guy whom I really admire. Leo Felice Buscaglia is his name. He writes an extraordinary book on love. Those of you who like to read books, you should get hold of this book called Love by this guy called Leo Buscaglia. Buscaglia, Buscaglia. His pet name is Felice. Now he narrates a beautiful story. He says, there was a rule in my house. Every night when my father would come back home and all of us will sit to have our dinner, father would ask all of us this question, What did you learn for the day? Sometimes we'll have, I learned this in history, I learned this in geography, I learned this in science, I learned this in mathematics. And you tell, oh, explain. Wow, beautiful. Tell me a little more about it. He made us look at studies as fun. And then he would ask, any homework? And we would say, like Felice said, that one incident I remember in my childhood, I said, today we learnt about Nepal, which is a kingdom in Himalayas, and it is the only Hindu kingdom in the whole world. And we have been asked to make an essay on Nepal. My father said, wow, that's so brilliant. Let's go into the library. A whole family shifted to the library. Papa gave this project to everybody. See, even today when I'm narrating this, I have goosebumps all over. The story is so fresh in my mind. Papa would tell everybody, hey, in that book, I think there is about Nepal. Those books about mountains, because Nepal is in Mount Everest, must have something about Nepal. Hey, bring out that encyclopedia. There are some more details about Nepal. He would make all of us sit together, and somebody will say from there, hey, I just found out about Nepal. All mountains on its sides. Somebody else would say, wow, I've just realized it is still ruled by monarchy. And somebody would say, oh, the neighbor of Nepal is Bhutan, and Bhutan is supposed to be the happiest country in the whole world. And Papa would say, oh, how cool is that? Now, homework is not a chore. Homework is not something which is exclusively the responsibility of a child, like go and do 4 pages of handwriting. Go and solve those problems. The whole family gets together. The environment is of learning and curiosity. When the environment in studies and homework and lessons to do is fun, learning, curiosity, and everybody gets involved, I'm telling you, I don't know how much marks your child will score, but your child will grow up to be an educated person. I don't know how he will write the answers, but I know when he grows up, he'll become a very wise person. I don't know in which college they will go to study, but I can tell you they will become very successful and happy people in his life. I don't know whom they will marry, but I can tell you, whomsoever they marry, they will have a great married life. So let homework be a matter of joy, togetherness, curiosity, discovery, fun. And you will find not only your child will do their homework very well, they will also look forward to studying very well. I listened to a wise man saying once, studies is not about stuffing in knowledge. Studies is about kindling the curiosity of a person. Similarly, homework is not about doing the task. Homework is an opportunity for parents not to ensure that the child does what the teacher expects, but to make the child excited about studies, sharing, learning, discovering, going a little deeper, taking for references, cracking jokes with each other. Oh, what a beautiful thing you will be doing if you can create that environment and make your child study. Thank you so much for joining us in today's live. Next Wednesday, again, I will be there with all of you. We will come up with an exceptional topic again. Just give me a minute and share with you what is the topic next. Next Wednesday, the topic of our live is going to be how to make the best use of quality time with your kids this summer. So if you're interested, mark it down in your calendars. Next Wednesday, same time, 9:30 p.m., we will come with you. And yes, if you like it, you can share a heart-like love over here. If you really think this, what we discussed today, can help thousands of parents, please help us in reaching out to thousands of parents and share this video with as many number of groups you are members of. Let's spread learning, curiosity, fun, happiness, togetherness into our families so that parents can actually drive home the right values into the minds of child, so that our children can also grow up to become history creators. Wish you all the best. Love you so much. And thank you for coming today.